Good morning, Miramar, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tamara G. As always, check us out on all of our social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as the City of Miramar. And we have so many great things coming to our city, including what our Commissioner Avril Cherasard is bringing, because it is all about the magic. Particularly during this Women's History Month, we've got some magical ladies here on screen with us. We have Dr. G. Ann Thurston, as well as her daughter here, Adria Magic, and she is magic. Let me tell you, when we start talking to her, y'all wait. But welcome to the show, everybody. And Commissioner Sherazard, this is such a special thing that you are bringing to the city, and I know you want everybody to be a part of it.
Thanks, Tamara. Good morning, Miramar. I am absolutely so proud to be bringing what I coined to be the feel good series of events to the city of Miramar. And it kicks off with joy and happiness, two emotions that everyone understands. No matter your background, your age, where you come from, those words resonate. When people hear Joy and Happiness Fest, they immediately smile. You can't help but smile when you hear Joy and Happiness Fest because it's a time where these days people are so busy, so distracted, so stressed and overwhelmed. So I decided I wanted a space, I wanted a festival for people where they can simply laugh, connect, feel good together. It's timely and it is needed in our community. So we're bringing out the Joy and Happiness Fest.
Sounds good. And so, when is this fest happening, and how can people get involved?
So this festival, Joy and Happiness, is happening this Saturday, March 14th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the city of Miramar, of course, at our Shirley Branca Park.
Oh, and this is where we have some magic coming to the city. Adria, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Okay,
And
listen,
you guys?
we are doing great. And let me tell you, I am so impressed by you, young lady. Not only are you an author, but you got some magic going on yourself, right?
Mm-hmm, I do.
All right, tell me about it.
So I have papers, thankfully.
Okay. Look, she's already becoming a pro at doing interviews. Yes.
Um, my magic, by the way,
Mhm.
is a vibrant blend of storytelling, illusion, and Caribbean cultural inspiration to audiences. And it's this gonna be at the Joy and Happiness Fest on Saturday, the 14th of March. And I wanted to inspire girls, and I still want to inspire girls to follow their dreams and know there's a space for them in magic and in the arts, which is what I'm doing.
You know what? I'm so pleased that you are doing this because um, I don't know of too many female magicians. What made you decide to start doing magic?
Well, it began at home. I was inspired by my father, who was a magician in his teens and early 20s, and I learned the craft as a child. But
Mhm.
still, he continues to support me as a coach while I'm mentored by several world-renowned female magicians like Alexandra de Vivier, who is a French woman, Nicole Cardoza, who is a Texan who is Black, and Gabriella Lester, who is South African, and also Rick Anderson, who is a really important one. He is from
Washington
Washington,
State.
just like me.
Oh, nice, nice. And so I wanted to ask, your mom, Dr. Thurston, that when Adria first came to you and said, you know what, I want to do this and I want to do magic, I want to write a book. What was your first inclination? Were you like, okay, go outside and play, or were you like, okay, let's make this happen?
All right. So I've always been, and so is my husband, but me in particular, I've always been a supportive mom. And that comes from me having a family, a mom, a dad, and just the village that raised me coming from the Bahamas where there were no limits set, on our aspirations. And that's the way I've raised Adria as it relates to academics, extracurricular, the talent, natural talent, I will say, for magic. I push her to strive for excellence, and I remind her that the sky's the limit and there are no limits. So she can pursue whatever she wants.
And that includes not only being a female magician, but also an author. So, Adria, tell me about your book, Anansi and Me, Tales of the Bahamas.
And Nancy and Me, Tales of
Me.
the Bahamas is an important book. It combines folklore and everything. For example, I invite readers into a world where ancient folklore and modern childhood meet, weaving West African storytelling traditions into the living, breathing culture of the Bahamas. At the heart of the story is Anansi, the legendary spider trickster whose tales originated in West Africa and traveled across the Atlantic through oral tradition. Over generations, Anansi stories took root throughout the Caribbean, evolving into a playful, wise, and often hilarious lessons passed down by generations, grandparents, storytellers, and communities.
So I'm telling you, this is going to be a great day of joy and happiness this coming Saturday. And I know Commissioner Sherazard, I mean, just listening to Adria, this is really kind of what you want to instill in our children in Miramar as well, is that they can pretty much do anything they want to, particularly if it makes them happy.
Indeed, Miss Tamara. So, it's so critical for me that this event is happening during Women's History Month,
Mhm.
during spring break, during a time when we're looking for those opportunities to engage our children. I remember being one of those little girls who always loved, you can find me at my great grandmother's house, my great grand aunt's house, because I love to hear the stories of old. I grew up hearing the Anansi story. I grew up with the parables and the folklore tales. We're like our young lady, Miss Adria. I'm from the Bahamas. Her
It's
mom is from
Adria,
the
by the
Bahamas.
way.
Miss
Adria.
Adria, yes.
Adria.
I'm Bahamian, and these
Mhm.
are the stories of the Caribbean, the Anansi
Wait, you're
stories.
Bahamian?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am a girl of the soil, just like your mom and your grandmother. And
Mhm.
so I always loved hearing the stories from our elders. And so this storytelling moment, the spirit of this event really is come out, hear stories, do craft work, see the magic, have some magical moments. We have Disney up the road, but now we're bringing that magic to the city of Miramar through Adria, through all of these other performances that are going to be taking you back to your childhood. Joy and happiness is really the theme of the day. And that was my intent with this.
And I love the fact that it's also free for, Miramar it's free for everybody, but we encourage Miramar residents to come out and bring your family and friends. Everybody knows it's right here in Miramar, and Adria Magic is going to be there. She's going to be doing magic. She's going to be reading. And so where can people, Dr. Thurston, find the book? Because I know, after seeing her here, people are going to want to go online and support her dream of becoming, a true world author and her stories that can be read from anywhere around the world.
Okay, so Adria's book can be found on Amazon, and it's accessible to everyone. If you need the link, it's on her website, and you can find Adria's links to social media, information about how she's gone on her journey. That link to the book on Amazon, it's very easy to find. So her website is www.adriamagic.com, and on social media she's the real Adria Magic, which everyone will see on Saturday.
I love it. How old are you, Adria, if you don't mind me asking?
14 years old, and I'm gonna be 15 soon. I'm in the 8th grade as of yet.
All right, 15 is right around the corner. And mom, I know you and dad have done a great job. And of course, continue, Adria, with doing your magic and being the magic out there in the world so that people can see that anything and everything is possible, okay?
Okay.
I love that. And for you, Commissioner Sherazard, please invite the people one more time to come out and support this event. It's the first one, so it's not going to be the last one, but it's
Oh,
definitely,
definitely not.
yeah.
So this event really is about bringing the people of Miramar and the surrounding areas together. It's about laughter, music, dancing, community pride. When our families gather in the park to see their neighbors, they see their children playing and everyone smiling, that's the kind of community event I want to create. Because as a commissioner, I believe that the city should create moments that bring neighbors together in positive ways.
Mhm.
Joy and happiness are two very simple ideas, but they are very powerful. When your community gathers around those values, the strength in that connection is powerful. So I want to invite our neighbors, our Miramar neighbors, our Miramar friends. We hope you come and that you leave with smiles, memories, and the feeling that Miramar is a place where community, joy, and happiness truly live. So please join us Saturday, March 14th at our world-renowned Shirley Branca Park from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Listen, this is South Florida, so throughout the day you might have showers, but trust me, don't let a little sprinkle from the sky stop you from missing this event that is fun for the entire family. Bring your teens. We have a section for them to go off into. We have kites. You're going to fly some kites. We have a section for your pets. And one thing that's very important for me to say, Ms. Tamara G, we are making sure that those parents who usually keep their kids home because they may be on the spectrum and they may not be good with loud noises. We're setting up the autism tent for them so that they can go find some solace. We have activities for them. We have sensory items. We have earphones for them. Your kids, just because they may have a sensory disorder, should not just stay home and miss out on the fun. We're going to be accommodating them, and that's always going to be our goal, to be accommodating to all of our residents and make sure that they can come out and have a good time as well. Saturday, March 14th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., Shirley Branca Park, everyone. Hope to see you there.
It is going to be amazing. Well, that says it all. Thank you very much, Commissioner Avril Cherasard. Thank you very much, Adria Magic, and thank you very much, Dr. G.N. Thurston, for joining us. Again, you can find Adria's book. It is everywhere on Amazon, so check it out and listen to some of the stories. She's going to be doing some storytelling this coming Saturday, as well as doing her magic. Now that is going to be magical to see. So thank you very much and good luck with everything on Saturday, okay?
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Ms.
much.
Tamara.
Thank you. And thank you for watching Good Morning Miramar. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Miramar, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tamara G. As always, check out all of our social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City of Miramar. And with me today, I have Eric Shen. He is the inspector in charge of the Criminal Investigations Group for the United States Postal Inspection Service. And we're talking to him because National Consumer Protection Week is coming up very quickly. It's March 1st through 7th. And 1 in 5 Americans, that's about 50 million Americans, have lost money to an online scam. So we're just going to talk about how we can keep the public safe and just how lucrative this business is. That's one thing. So welcome to the show, Mr. Shen. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I am so amazed that 1 in 5 Americans, 50 million, have lost money to an online scam. How is this happening in this day and time?
Well, Tamara, scams have become more and more scams have become more and more lucrative when it comes to being able to scam different consumers throughout not just the United States but throughout the world. So we're seeing a trend in scammers really targeting everybody throughout the country, and the biggest issue there too is we're just getting an increase in it based on some of the artificial intelligence and utilizing that to get their messaging out to more and more people.
Well, I guess Inspector Shen, because the first thing I thought of when I saw this, I was like, oh, well, you're talking about dating scams,
Mhm.
people getting money that way. But apparently that's not the only scams that are going on.
No, there's so many different types of scams, whether it comes to investment scams, like you mentioned, the romance scams, and cryptocurrency scams. With the United States Postal Inspection Service, we investigate over 200 federal statutes. The majority of those statutes that we investigate really does involve mail fraud and bank fraud, but financial crimes.
Wow. And so people are actually using the United States Postal Service to implement these scams. I mean, I would just think it would be something like send me the money via, and again, this is nothing against Zelle or Venmo or anything like that, but they're actually sending this through the mail.
Yes, they are. So all these different scams that we're talking about, whether they reach you through a text, an email, a phone call, there's always a component of the mail being utilized, whether it's moving money, it could be cash, checks, crypto wallets, and then communication too. So not only are they going to communicate with you via text or a phone, they're going to still communicate with you utilizing the mail, whether it's sending you gifts or sending you pamphlets if it's an investment scheme. So the mail is still being utilized when it comes to some of these fraud scams.
And so, speaking of whether we're using scams or frauds, I mean, I got a call the other day. It was someone who said, "Remember when you signed up for a free vacation at what?" And I was like, "No, I never did that." They wanted to give me a spiel about how I could get a free vacation. Of course, I've got to listen to a timeshare thing, but that's a whole. Is that considered a scam, or is that just sales? People are trying to sell you a product that you don't necessarily really want.
I think those are mostly more of a timeshare sales call. But if they then start talking to you about, invest in this timeshare and you can make money, then there could be some red flags you're going to start seeing. When something sounds really too good to be true, it probably is. And you're going to get those phone calls, and there could be some other phone calls you might get that's more urgent, and that we're going to shut your bank account down if you don't pay this late fee. That's another thing that we're seeing a lot as far as trends when you get that phone call.
Oh, I've gotten that one too. My bank was going to do something, and I said, "Oh, you mean I said the location on Hollywood Boulevard, which is here in South Florida," and they were like, "Yeah," and I'm thinking to myself, my bank doesn't have a. I got them back. I said, "Okay, well, I'll call the bank back," and then I just got off the phone. But I'm thinking to myself, dudes, I'm one smart cookie, but sometimes people aren't. They don't, we don't even have a branch on Hollywood Boulevard.
Mhm.
But sometimes we think that it's a certain group that's going to be scammed. But you're saying that it could be seniors, young adults, certain income groups. Why are these groups more vulnerable than others?
Well, I think everyone's being targeted because of just how lucrative it is to do these scams, but they're going to target people that have money. So older adults have a retirement, have jobs, and so they are the ones that have more money in their bank accounts. So they're definitely targeted a lot more than the other population.
Oh, wow. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much. We are speaking with Inspector Eric Shen. He is in charge of the Criminal Investigations Group for the United States Postal Inspection Service, and talking to us about how people are truly being scammed these days, and particularly with AI technology and, again, going through the mail. What are some of the red flags, just so people will know this might not be on the up and up? I always say, honestly, if it's too good to be true, why would you believe that?
You are totally right in that. A lot of the times when those investment scams come in, it really is too good to be true. But the red flags you're going to see if it comes through an email is the return email is usually a little bit off. You're going to see some misspellings. You're going to just see little tiny things. So you have to be really careful when it comes to those emails. And then text messages too. If your bank doesn't contact you through a text message, but yet you get a text message from a number that you've never seen before that's telling you to click on this link, do not click on that link. Go on your trusted websites, do those researches, go to the actual bank, the actual investment firm websites where you can actually do those research. Call the phone number in the back of the credit card. That's always really good because you're going to talk to someone that's legitimate from your bank.
I know, again, you as the inspector, you've dealt with this for many years, and you're talking to people, and it is heartbreaking. I mean, folks really have lost like life savings. They've lost everything in their checking account. They've lost their self-esteem, and they're embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
But they should report these crimes, right? Like, don't let people get away with this.
You are absolutely correct. Do not feel ashamed. I have family members that fell into scams before. You just have to report it. That's the main thing, because not only are you reporting it, you're able to help the person in the future that won't fall into that scam. Because once it's reported to the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, we're going to do everything we can to investigate that. And we're also going to then provide some prevention tips for future consumers so they don't get scammed into it.
Okay. And so, but as you're talking to these people, I mean, are they telling you why they felt that they could trust a total stranger that they've never met on the phone before to go to the bank, take out $10,000, put it in a cashier's check or a money order or however, and then mail it to someone? Like, to me, I'm like, really? Is it that easy to part people with their money?
Well, I think a lot of times consumers, when they're contacted, something else is going on in their lives. So there's urgency involved where they're not able to, really do the research that they're allowed to do. So that makes it a little bit tough for them. And they may necessarily have anyone in their lives, and then someone is befriending them and building that relationship and that trust. So those are some of the signs that we see when we talk to some of the consumers that have fallen into the trap a little bit. But it's nothing on them. It happens. You have to remember, these scammers, this is their full-time job, 24/7. They're trying to hook someone in. And when they hook someone in, they're going to do everything they can to build that relationship, to then build that trust where now they're going to send money to them.
Yeah. Listen, we've talked about it on radio. We've had a couple of people who have, sent money to Brad Pitt because Brad Pitt needed money. I think Tom Cruise was one as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, Tom Cruise does not need my $500 or my 5,000, or if he needs to do another movie, if that's the case. But obviously those are scams. And again, I think that goes back to the dating scams, and people are lonely or something else is going on in their lives. But where can people report these scams, and also, to keep this from happening to anyone else?
So I highly encourage them to report it. Go to USPIS.gov/report. That's where you can file a complaint and then also report the different scams that might have potentially been targeting you.
Wow. So just to drop some knowledge here, Americans lost $12 billion plus to scams in 2025, and that you guys are obviously aiming to help them avoid this in 2026. What is the first thing that people need to do once they feel like somebody might be scamming them? So say that's, whether you get something in the mail or if someone is texting you or calling you.
The main thing to do is stop immediately that communication. Save all your records when it comes to communications, emails, texts, phone calls, whatever it is, bank documents, and then report it to us at USPIS.gov/report. That's the main thing. And then contact your bank to stop that payment, because that potentially can then stop the losses from whether occurring or stop the bleeding when it comes to losses.
Yeah, and they're getting real crafty now. They've come up with a way to even call you from a number with the same area code as you now. Because most people don't answer calls that they don't know, but if it's in their area code, they're like, oh, maybe this is somebody I know, even though they're not in my phone. So that's something else to be on the lookout for too. So
Absolutely.
well, thank you so very much. If you're just tuning in, we've been speaking with Eric Shen. He is the inspector in charge of the Criminal Investigations Group for the United States Postal Inspection Service. And if you feel like you've been scammed, or there is a scam going out there and you want to stop it because you know that people may fall for this, give them that website once again to report.
USPIS.gov. Not only can you report it, but you can also get additional prevention tips.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate it. And thank you for watching Good Morning Miramar. Until next time, I'm Tamara G.